Hello students, let us learn about data formatting. The arrangement of data or information in a particular style or format is known as data formatting. Formatting means to make the data look beautiful or presentable. We can use the features like bold, italics, underline, font color, font size, all these type of things to make our data look nice. That is what is known as data formatting. First of all, we will learn how we can work with the number formatting. Let us suppose write any number value on a cell. After that, we will select the cell and we will click on Format menu. We will select the Cells option. The Format Cell dialog box opens up. At the top, we can find there are many tabs. We will select the Number tab. Here in the category, you can see different values: number, percent, currency, date, time, scientific, and so on. Depending upon the type of your data, we can choose different formats. For example, if the data in our cell is a currency value, then we can choose any of the formats from this column. Let us suppose we have chosen this format. In the preview box, we can see how the data is going to look like. It will appear with the currency sign. Let us click on OK and we can see the effect. Now, let us learn how we can work with the text formatting. First of all, let us write any text value. After finishing, we will select the cell and we will go to the Format menu again. Cells option. The Format Cells dialog box opens up. We can select the Alignment option. We can see there are different types of text alignment: horizontal, vertical. We can click on this arrow and choose any one of the value we like. Vertical alignment also we can select. Next, you can find that this is the place for text orientation. We can click here and we can rotate the text like this with some degrees. And we can click on the OK button. But before that, as you can notice here, this is called the reference age. This particular option is selected at this moment. Let us see what is the effect for each of these type of options. This particular option is called the text extension from lower cell border. It rotates the text from the bottom cell edge outwards. Let us see the effect. This is the effect of text extension from lower cell border. Let us go to the Format menu again and Cells option. The Format Cell dialog box again opens up. This time let us choose the second option, that is the text extension from upper cell border. It rotates the text from the top cell edge outwards. Let us click on it and then click on OK. As you can see the effect. Again, let us go to the Format menu, Cells option, and we will select this time the third option, that is the text extension inside the cell. It rotates the text only within the cell. We can see the effect here. Now let us work with setting font size and typeface. Again, we have to go to the Format menu, Cells option. This time we will click on the Font tab. In the font, we can choose any one of the types. We can choose the style also and the size. In the preview box, you can see the effect. After choosing the values, we can click on OK and the effect will be seen. This bar is also known as the formatting toolbar. Here all the formatting options are available. We can choose the values, we can choose the options from this bar also. It is the place for the font name. This is the place for the font size, bold, italics, underline, font color, background color. All these options are available in this formatting toolbar. Now let us learn about the formulas. Let me close this worksheet and open a new worksheet where I have already made a table which will help us to understand the formulas better. Before going into the details, let us know what a formula is. A formula is nothing but an expression or an equation that calculates data in the worksheet. We can use the formulas to calculate or to manipulate the numbers. We can use the formulas with the operators plus, minus, into, divide, and it also includes the cell addresses. We already know what a cell address is. A cell address is the combination of the column heading and the row heading. This active cell is having the address G7. Likewise, all the cells have their addresses. So while writing the formula, we will need the operators and we will need the cell addresses. Always remember that before starting a formula, we must write the equal to sign. If we don't specify the equal to sign before the formula, then calc treats it as text and does not show any calculation result. Suppose we want to find the total here in this cell E2. We will go in the input line and we will start with the equal to sign. After that, we will click on the cell containing the marks for the physics. You can see in the input line the cell address is automatically shown. After this, let us write the plus sign, that is our operator. Again, we will select the second cell, that is the second value in our addition, that is C2. Again, we will click on the plus sign and click on here in D2. This is the third value of our addition. You can see in the input line the entire formula is appearing. What is the formula? Equals to B2 plus C2 plus D2. After we have finished writing the formula, we will press the enter key and we can see the value. The total is automatically calculated. If we want to copy the formula to the next cells, we will just click and drag the formula like this. So the formula is copied in the other cells also. Now let us learn something about cell referencing. Here, as you can see, when we have copied the formulas in the other cells, the formula is copied but the cell addresses have changed. That means if in the cell E2 the formula is equals to B2 plus C2 plus D2, in the cell E3 the formula is equals to B3 plus C3 plus D3. Again in the cell E4 the formula is equals to B4 plus C4 plus D4, and in the cell E5 the formula is B5 plus C5 plus D5. This is known as relative cell referencing. In relative cell referencing, when a formula is copied to a new location in the worksheet, the cell references in the formula change in relation to the new location of the formula. Next we will learn about absolute cell referencing. In absolute cell referencing, the cell references in a formula remain the same even when the formula is copied to a new location. That means in absolute cell referencing, if in the cell E2 the formula is B2 plus C2 plus D2, and if we copy the formula to the other cells like E3, E4 and E5, in all the cells the formula will be B2 plus C2 plus D2 only. The cell addresses will not change like it happened in the previous case. But for that we need to put the dollar sign as the prefix, like here in front of the column heading we will put the dollar sign, and in front of the row heading we will put the dollar sign. Similarly, before C also we will put the dollar sign, and to also we will put the dollar sign. Now, if we copy the formula to the other cells, you will see that in all the cells the value is same. That means here in E2, if the formula is B2 plus C2 plus D2, in the cell E3 also it is B2 plus C2 plus D2. Again in the cell E4 it is B2 plus C2 plus D2. Again in the cell E5 it is B2 plus C2 plus D2. That means whenever we are doing absolute cell referencing, the cell addresses are not changing. The referenced cell addresses are not changing. But for that absolute cell referencing, what we have to do is we have to put the dollar sign as the prefix before the column heading and the row heading. Next, we will learn about mixed cell referencing. If we put the dollar sign before both the row number and the column letter, the cell address becomes the absolute cell reference. But if we do not put the dollar sign before any one of this part, that means if one of the part remains absolute and the other part remains relative, then it will be known as the mixed cell referencing. Let us see how it is done. Suppose in this formula, if we remove the dollar sign from the cell address D2, then we can see that this part of the formula is absolutely referenced and this part of the formula is relatively referenced, and the whole formula becomes an example of mixed cell referencing. That means the value of E2 is B2 plus C2 plus D2. If we copy it to the other cells, what is the value of the cell E3? E3 becomes B2 plus C2 plus D3. Similarly, E4 becomes B2 plus C2 plus D4, and E5 becomes B2 plus C2 plus D5. That means we can understand that in all these cells, the value of this part, that is B2 and C2, remains same because $sign is used as prefix and this part is absolutely referenced. But in all these cells, you can see that the last term, that is the D2, it is changing in the other cells. That means in the first E2 cell, it is D2. For E3, it is becoming D3. For E4, it is becoming D4. And for E5, it is becoming D5. So this is the case of a mixed cell referencing, where half of the part is absolutely referenced and other half is relatively referenced. That's all for today. Thank you.